Konnichiwa, everyone. It's been quite a while. I've been very busy, so I'm just going to do a quick little video today to give a little update about what I've been doing. I have been very busy, and I do have some exciting things to share with everyone. And I'm going to try to put another video out maybe next week or the week after. But again, today, I just want to share what I've been up to for the past few months. All right, so like I said, I have been very busy. In, I think, my previous video, one of the things I talked about was that I had created an Etsy shop, and anyone who is, well, anywhere in the world really, but especially if you are in the United States or Canada, buying things from that Etsy shop is reasonable and makes sense. But if you are, for example, in Japan, buying from that Etsy shop is pretty crazy. So a t-shirt that would cost an American like $20, $25, in Japan it's costing over 5,000 yen for the t-shirt and for shipping, which is kind of crazy. So what I have done is I have created a shop on a site called Suzuri, which is sort of like a Japanese version of Etsy. The link is in the description for this video, so if you want to go to my Suzuri store and check out what I have on there right now, have at it. Not saying anyone needs to buy anything, but you should. There's not a lot there right now, only 4 or 5 items, but I will be putting more on that site. Suzuri is a bit limited. Basically, for the designs, you're really limited to putting a design on one side or another. For the Etsy shop, I was making everything in Printify, which gave me the ability for t-shirts to make front designs, back designs, designs for the sleeves. With Suzuri, it's basically a front design or a back design. That's it. The other limitation there is in sizing. If anyone does want to buy any of the shirts that I've put on Suzuri, the sizing is very Japanese. So if you are larger than the average Japanese person, then you are probably out of luck. But anyway, there's stuff there. If you're interested, just take a look. So that's one thing. Something else that's very important is I am now under 100 kilograms. For the past week, I've been weighing in around 98, 99 kilograms. So I have been making progress, still a lot more to go. And in the next video I put out, I'm going to talk more about my diet and exercise once again. But the main thing that I've been doing for the past couple months is focusing on learning Japanese. Everyone who knows me knows that I have been in Japan now for just over 20 years. I first came to Japan so that I could learn Japanese, and I went to university and I did study Japanese in university, but very quickly my desire to learn Japanese shifted into a desire to get a good grade in my Japanese class. And one of the biggest mistakes that I made was I didn't use Japanese outside of my classes. So even though I did study in university, it really just amounted to a pile of nothing. In the intervening years, Obviously, I knew that it was important to speak Japanese. I live in Japan. I came here because I wanted to learn the language. But I kept running into issues where when I tried to study, I just didn't feel like it was going anywhere. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to do it. So I would try to study a little bit, get discouraged, and give up. At the beginning of this year, my job changed, and it did become more important for me to actually be able to understand and speak Japanese on a daily basis. So I did have a more immediate set of motivators, which I think is helpful. The other thing is I just went online and first just, I went onto Bing and Googled how to study Japanese, and then I used AI to look up how to study Japanese and actually got a lot of really useful information. So since the beginning of May, I've been studying Japanese an hour to 2 hours almost every single day. There were 2 days that I was really sick and could not do anything. So there have been 2 days since the beginning of May that I didn't, but otherwise I've been studying Japanese an hour, 2 hours every day. I have made an online tracker that I'm going to put the link to that in the description for this video as well. If you want to see where I am with my study, please check that out. If anyone has, advice for things that I can do to be more successful with studying, please give me a comment. Any of you who speak Japanese who wouldn't mind speaking Japanese with me, please let me know. One of the things that I have been struggling with actually is being able to speak Japanese with people. Everyone that I associate with speaks English, and my Japanese is such a low level that it's inconvenient for those people to actually try to speak Japanese with me. So I am really, sorry for them. So if anyone wants to speak Japanese with me, please let me know. But let me tell you a little bit about what I've been doing. I have a few different books that I've tried using from time to time. The first book that I used in university was Genki. And I'm using Genki now. My plan right now is to take and pass the JLPT N3 next summer. It's just under a year from now. So I'm trying to go from N5 level to N3 in just over a year. So my foundation is starting with Genki, so I'm working my way through Genki 1 right now. When I finish Genki 1, I'll go through Genki 2. After that, there's a few different books that I'm thinking about. On my tracker, it already lists one book. That's probably what I'll use, but I'm not sure. So that's what I've been using as sort of my foundational piece. But the other things that I've been doing that have been paying off pretty well is I've been using a couple different apps. One app is just called Anki, and Anki is flashcards, but the app itself is just electronic flashcards. So I've been going through a deck of flashcards called Core 2000. So it's 2000 flashcards that is introducing vocabulary and grammar in usage. It introduces kanji in use. These flashcards actually do also have an audio component, so you can hear example sentences. When I do them, I do try to actually talk back to my flashcards. So that's one thing. The other app that I've been using that I really like a lot is called Renshu. And Renshu has also flashcards. So I can work specifically on kanji, I can work specifically on vocabulary. It has components where you put sentences together. It has lessons where it teaches you about particles and grammatical structures, and then you build the sentences within the app. I really enjoy it, so I use those two apps a lot when I'm riding the train to and from work. The other thing that I've been using a lot is podcasts, so just listening to Japanese podcasts. I think it's just really useful to get that exposure for native speaking. My listening ability is not very strong. Right now I'm listening to podcasts that are specifically designed for very low level Japanese learners. So they speak at a regulated pace, they enunciate very clearly, they use more simple vocabulary. I'm still probably at, 70% comprehension, but it gets a little bit easier. So I've been using those a lot. I've been trying to go through a kanji book. I don't actually care all that much about being able to write kanji, but reading kanji I think is really important. That's going to help me be able to read, but also learning the kanji really helps to understand the vocabulary itself. So those are the main things that I've been doing. Again, you can check my tracker to see what it's been like. You will notice that I have been struggling with the output component. I do need to spend more time utilizing the textbook. So I am going to be focusing a lot more there in the upcoming weeks. But that's it. That's been taking up a lot of my time. I have been really knuckling down on my Japanese. 20 years in the country, not being able to really speak or function in Japanese is frankly embarrassing. But at the same time, in just the 2 months that I've been studying, I felt like I'm actually making a lot of progress. So it has been really positive for me. So anyone out there who is maybe in a similar situation where you've been in this country for a long time, you don't speak the language, maybe you've given up on studying, don't. Japanese is really difficult. Language is really difficult, not just Japanese. Any language is really difficult. But it's not impossible, and it really just takes a degree of effort, and that's what I feel so far. Not to get all preachy because I'm still really low level, but that's what I've been doing. That's what I've been busy with. It's been really difficult for me to make time to make videos because, I get home and I do feel like I need to, eat dinner and study Japanese. When I have free time, I feel like I need to study Japanese because I need to be able to speak the language, and that is my focus. But again, new video coming out. So thank you all for this. It's a bit of a ramble on my part. I am sorry about that. But another video coming out maybe next week or the week after, maybe a bit more interesting. Please do check out the Suzuri site. Please do check out my Japanese tracker. If anyone wants to speak Japanese with me, let me know. If anyone wants to give study advice, please let me know. If anyone wants to ask me for advice, you're a silly goose. But anyway, that's it. Thank you very much.